Generally speaking, there are only 3 basic skills you need to learn to start playing basketball. First is dribbling, second is passing, and third and most importantly, shooting. Without mastering these fundamental moves, you can never go pro or let alone play in the NBA. Or so we thought. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 10 NBA players who proved that having the perfect shooting form is not an actual requirement to get drafted for the NBA. Be sure to watch until the end to get to know a legacy player known for his ugly but effective shots. But before all that, let me remind you to leave a like, subscribe, and smash the notification bell button to get the latest updates on all things related to the world of basketball. Number 1. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq is already considered as one of the legends of the NBA, but that doesn't mean that he's actually the best in terms of his shooting form, especially when it comes to shooting a free throw. He's so bad at it that an actual move called Hack-a-Shaq has been invented to simply make the big man go for a free throw, which any knowledgeable contender knows he will never sink. So why is Shaquille so bad at shooting free throws? People say he's just not practicing the skill enough. Others trace it back to the time that he broke his wrist as a kid. Whatever the actual reason is, we may never know. However, Shaq himself has the audacity to call this divine intervention. Why? In his own words, O'Neal says God placed a flaw on him to make him humble. After all, if he can shoot perfect free throws and be a beast in the paint, he may already be too perfect. Ha! Number 2. Manute Ball. If you didn't know this already, Manute Ball stands at a whopping 7 foot and 7 inches, making him one of the tallest players to ever stand on the NBA court. But for some reason, he's not really someone you would rely your offense on. To be fair though, there was this one time that he played surprisingly well, chucking in 3-pointers for 6 times, like he was just throwing a crumpled piece of paper to the bin. But as I said, that was an exception and not the norm. Manute was just so klutzy that the best he could do was obviously become an awesome shot blocker. Number 3. Tony Allen. If you think Shaquille O'Neal was bad, well, you haven't seen Tony Allen's cringe-worthy free throws and jumpers. I mean, he's a shooting guard for Christ's sakes. He should be able to shoot baskets aside from actually being able to guard the goal. Admittedly, Tony Allen is exceptional when it comes to guarding against men bigger than he is. But as a shooting guard, he half sucks. Let's take a look, shall we? For some reason, this professional basketball player flings the ball from the back of his head in a sorry attempt to make a shot. Now, even amateur players know that's wrong. This form forces his left hand to be stretched outwards as his guiding hand, which is basically the reason why he can't shoot accurately at all. Number 4. Markelle Fultz. It's crazy to think that a guy with a pretty bad shooting form can be drafted first in the NBA. But Markelle Fultz made this happen in 2017. This appeared as a mistake for the Philadelphia 76ers, who drafted Fultz because they soon found out how broken his jump shot was. He was basically useless and made everyone kind of angry whenever he plays and shoots, or rather fails to shoot, a free throw. The Sixers kept their first pick for a solid 3 years and blamed several reasons like his new form, wrist injury, or whatever syndrome he might have which causes him to be a bad shooter. One time when his performance was just so bad, Markelle even had the audacity to blame it on his hands suddenly slipping. Okay? But all that seems to be forgotten after the Sixers gave Fultz up to the Orlando Magic. Fultz made a full recovery from all the injuries, physical and otherwise, that hounded him with Philadelphia. But to be honest, only time can tell if this means he's now a better shooter. Number 5. Lonzo Ball. For someone whose name is actually Ball, I do not understand why this guy can't shoot right. Don't get me wrong, I admire the fact that Ball could sink those ugly shots. But that's the thing, they're still seriously ugly. Though there was a time that the younger Ball also had a shooting slump, and with a kind of shot like his, it's actually surprising he could shoot at least one of them in. Number 6. Joakim Noah. Let's get one thing straight. Joakim Noah is actually an exceptional player. He has the heart of a lion whenever on court, and his locker room antics are great. He knows when to focus and gives his all during games. This attitude even made him win the Defensive Player of the Year at some point, and it seems like he's not going to stop anytime soon. But this cannot and will never excuse him for his lame jump shot. Someone definitely taught Joakim the basics of basketball, all except for his shooting. To give you an idea, Noah shoots with a side spin and not a backspin, which makes for a wonky shot. But that doesn't make him any less of a player. Or does it? Number 7. Matt Bonner. He's one great NBA shooter. No one can deny that. He even took second place right beside Dirk Nowitzki as one of the best big man shooters of the league. However, Bonner cannot credit his accuracy for his unorthodox shooting form. The Red Mamba can shoot better than 99% of the NBA players with his chin height release. Clearly, his form is what makes him special, and if he can shoot baskets easily, no one can hit him for his ugly shot. Number 8. Tyshawn Prince. Tyshawn can easily take credit for the good run of the Detroit Pistons back in 2004. His ability to defend from anywhere he stands is simply amazing. Although he's a pretty competent shooter in the paint, you will never be able to see him launch a ball behind the three-point line. Why? Well, let's just say that his form is crazy. Watch him closely and you can see that Prince's eyes are literally the only thing perfectly aligned with the hoop. His shooting arm looks so unstable that it resembles more of a Y than an arc ready for a shot. Kind of reminds us of a slingshot, eh? Still, his basketball prowess has been proven to be championship material, so I won't complain. Number 9. Sean Marion. Of course, if we're talking about strange shots, Sean Marion's crazy three-pointers is definitely on this list. Sean Marion is famous for having the weirdest three-pointer shooting form because, well, it's just so weird. It looks like a chest pass from behind the three-point line, and for some reason, it sinks. Marion is pretty accurate when it comes to burying threes despite having the lowest release for that specific shot. Number 10. Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Just when you think Sean Marion's shot is crazy AF, well, you haven't seen Michael Kidd Gilchrist shoot one of his jumpers. It's just too grotesque not to be in this list's finale. And you definitely agree with me once you get to see it for yourself. If you're one of those who love abstract art, then you'd fall in love with Gilchrist's shot. Whenever he shoots a basket, MKG lines the ball perpendicular to the hoop and releases after he loses momentum from his jump. Now that's sometimes effective, but we all know that this prevents him from maximizing his power and it also strains his body even more. As far as I know, MKG has already done tons of practice to improve his form, but we can't deny the fact that at one point, his shot was the ugliest we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. And that ends our list of the 10 NBA players with the worst shooting form in history. Do you agree with our picks? Please be sure to thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it for more awesome content from our channel. Leave a comment down below for what you think our next video should be. Till next time, peace!